Are you prepared for the greatest discovery in the annals of Oak Island? During final excavations at Oak Island, researchers have made a dreadful discovery. It will transform everything we believed we knew about the enigmatic past of the island. Prepare to uncover the Oak Island mystery that has captivated treasure hunters for centuries. Let's immediately begin the video. Content system. Oak Island has been the site of numerous intriguing discoveries over the years, including fragments of ancient parchment, chunks of rusty iron, and even a stone with intricate engravings. However, we now have some mind-blowing updates regarding the horrifying discovery made during excavation on Oak Island. Join us as we explore the mysteries of Oak Island and unearth the truth about this extraordinary discovery. As soon as the television program The Curse of Oak Island made a horrifying discovery at the bottom of the money pit, the situation rapidly deteriorated. The Oak Island personnel closely monitored the B4C shaft excavation in the money pit region. As the crew approached a depth of approximately 90 feet, they detected abundant traces of silver and gold. The team's astounding discovery sparked intense speculation that they may have discovered the approximate location of the mysterious money pit, or stumbled upon a network of tunnels that could lead to a hidden treasure chamber. Despite having reached the most thrilling phase of the excavation, the team remained resolute and unyielding, refusing to give up until the objective was reached. The team's confidence increased when they discovered a 90-foot deep tunnel, which they interpreted as a sign that they were coming closer to the original money pit. They were unfazed by the arduous voyage they had undertaken thus far, fueled by their unwavering conviction that their dogged pursuit was bringing them closer to discovering the legendary secrets concealed deep within the mysterious money pit. Frightful discovery at Oak Island during final excavation has been an exciting journey for those who appreciate witnessing the discovery of historical artifacts. The team had been anxiously awaiting progress in the excavation of the money pit region in the hopes of discovering the elusive treasure that has fascinated generations. Every time they dug, they awaited the next scoop or grasp with bated breath, hoping it would be the breakthrough they had been seeking. As they dug deeper, the team discovered scattered fragments of wood that formed a crucial historical puzzle. Among the disparate resembles an ancient Roman furnace discovered in Europe. It is important to observe that Barbara's experience as an architectural artist enabled her to make this intriguing connection. Its proximity to the shore enhances its attractiveness. John Stemmer and the Quest of Oak Island Facebook page utilized the incredible Muon drone to capture photographs. When considering the likelihood that it is a kiln, exciting possibilities emerge. Barbara Kopach's intriguing observation connects the connections, suggesting that this structure may have been a pipe-making kiln. The possibility that it was used to produce pipes piqued people's interest. Given the rumors of a flood tunnel system and the existence of a hydraulic mechanism, pipes would have been required for elevating and lowering the vault. Historiographically, the location of a kiln is crucial. Typically, they were situated away from communities to avoid disturbing residents with pollution. Lot 5 meets this requirement perfectly. It is also essential to be close to water and fuel sources. Fortunately, Oak Island provides both abundant wood for fuel and simple access to water for dilution of clay. It must be stressed that this is all conjecture, but it is intriguing to consider the possibility that Oak Island structures are related to ancient furnaces. In the slideshow, you can view a variety of kiln structures, including European and Roman-era examples. Are you not in agreement that the similarities are quite striking? Next, we will consider the shape. The notion that it might be a kiln was predominantly prompted by its appearance. Note the manner in which it expands. This may imply that there is more to learn than we are currently aware of. The debris-covered ring is clearly visible in a photograph. Now, this detritus could serve as part of the foundation, similar to the stone wall on Lot 26. Alternately, filling in with detritus could be the result of a construction project on Oak Island. If they had been digging tunnels, they would have needed to dispose of a great quantity of waste, and this area would have been ideal. When examining another image of a Roman kiln, be mindful of how far back it extends. Please take note of the large number of small fragments arranged in long rows to form concentric rings, which resembles what we observe on Oak Island. If this is a kiln, it may resemble this type, and where they are currently excavating may be the primary chamber. Remember how, in one of the most recent episodes of Curse of Oak Island, they made a hollow sound by striking a boulder at the bottom of the hole. They may still be required to reach the firebox area. Those fragments with the hollow sound could be protecting the fireplace after all. Currently, we are still determining how the temporary superstructure was constructed. It could have been built with rocks or something entirely distinct. However, this is not the only event that occurred at Oak Island. Astonished that the entire world. There is still more. Both the stone wall on Lot 26 and the pine tar furnace on Lot 15 contained fragments of charcoal. That indicates the presence of fire. They also discovered a piece of pottery, which provides additional insight into what the object may be. The images depict numerous kiln structures discovered by the University of York throughout Europe. They date back to the Roman era, proving that this technology is not new. Immediately, focus on the kiln on Lot 5. Observing the proximity to the water is intriguing. Regardless, let's dissect this and have some fun. First, visualize the mysterious setting in which we find ourselves. This location may be optimal for a covert operation. What if we told you a kiln could be hidden there? A kiln indeed. Consider alternative applications for this kiln before imagining a group of potters creating exquisite pottery. Our minds are racing and we are thinking about pipelines. Pipes indeed. This excellent hypothesis proposes Oak Island may contain a system of flood tunnels. What is this then? This is supported by evidence such as the valve and the cavity beneath the trapdoor. In this case, things are becoming increasingly intriguing. Perhaps intelligent infrastructure is used to construct the underground tunnels. They may be developing a hydraulic system to control the flow of water. However implausible it may seem, let's experiment with it anyway. It is prudent to use pipelines instead of open tunnels. The island's rugged terrain was only marginally suitable for tunneling. If water were to flow through certain areas, they might erode or collapse. Why then not utilize pipes to maintain a constant flow without endangering a collapse? At this point, things become even more pleasurable. Let's investigate the origins of pottery, my companion. We are discussing a technique that has existed since Roman times: clay pipes. Before, these pipelines were formed around a wooden structure, but it was difficult to connect them seamlessly. They ingeniously employed the potter's wheel, which originated in ancient Samaria around 3500 BCE. Incredible, right? Nevertheless, there's more. We should talk about glazing. You know, the protective layer that prevents water from permeating clay and causing damage to ceramics. Roman glazing techniques were extraordinarily inventive. They utilized salt, lead, and tin, invented later, to create an impregnable, complex covering. At this point, things begin to become somewhat chaotic. A pottery instructor asserts that adding saline or ocean water to clay causes its surface to bloom. The kiln firing process produces a beautiful salt patina.
The Oak Island team steps back so that the Dumas Contracting Company team can start drilling in this episode. The business is ready to start the job and has everything it needs. Is it possible that new things will be found? How did the team get past problems to reach their goal? The most important question is, where is the wealth that was buried? Stay tuned as we keep looking for the treasure that has been hidden for a long time. Early in the morning, the drilling company starts by planning how to dig the yard shaft all the way down. For about 6 hours, the flooded water has to be drained out of the garden shaft. Then, debris and artifacts have to be pulled out, wood sets have to be added, and the tube underground has to be made clear enough to be explored. The first step in the process seems to be putting together a very strong and useful tool called the hammer grab, which weighs more than 3 tons and is used for digging. After the dig, the team plans to build new 8-foot-tall wooden levels to try to link to the confirmed but still unexplored tunnel. Different artifacts found by the Oak Island team during their past drilling have proven that the tunnel is there. Some of the water that was pumped out has been seen and studied so far and found to contain gold and other things. But there is one thing that stands out from what they saw. The water that was covered in gold didn't seem to come from the garden shaft. Instead, it seemed to come from the baby blob, which is west of the garden shaft. It was found that the baby blob had the most metal and other artifacts compared to other parts of the money pit through past study and excavation efforts. The team has a lot of hopes for both during and after the addition of the shaft area. A lot of people are positive, excited about the discoveries that will be made, and interested in where they came from. The team was able to figure out the right way for their excavation work by looking at maps and past observations of the land. The garden shaft was the best place to begin the addition at any height and on a flat surface. With this going on, an area of up to 80 feet can be dug up, explored, and watched. This is a large underground area that should yield many artifacts during the process. One thing is certain about this whole operation: good things will happen, even though the team will face some problems along the way. Another good thing is that some problems are easy to solve with the help of the team's partners at Dumas Contracting Limited. The drilling company is helpful when there is no way to get to places with a lot of metal materials. They can also help with additions if needed. If we're lucky, no prize will be forgotten and the chances of finding the lost treasure are higher than ever. The Dumas team starts the job on a good note, ready to find out more. A few hours into the workday, some team members met in the war room as normal. But this time, it was to have a meeting with someone from Ideon Technologies. The purpose of the meeting was to go over the scientific reports of the money pit. A lot of the Oak Island team seems worried about what the reports might say. The study was mostly useful, and the Ideon Technology team worked hard to make sure it was correct. In the money pit area, the tech team put about 14 monitors into 5 boreholes. It's very, very deep, but most of the sensors were only 80 to 250 feet below the ground. This is very, very close to the tube. It wasn't just recently that the investigation was done. It happened as early as 2021, and it took almost 2 years to do all the necessary studies. This means that the report's conclusions are not based on quick observations, but on thorough study and testing. Based on the story, it looks like the sensors could pick up muons even when they were buried several feet deep. The representative said there were specific things to look for, like suits, voids, tubes that sparked a wave of questions among them. Could this button be a crucial clue that leads them closer to the legendary treasure of Oak Island? The crew eagerly discussed where the button might have come from, and how it could fit into the larger puzzle of the island's hidden past. Back in their command center, Lagina and his team faced a new challenge. For safety reasons, they needed to stop all exploration activities on Oak Island. As the storm drew near, Rick took a moment to reflect on their journey and the incredible progress they had made. Despite the storm's arrival, Rick and his team were committed to protecting their work and preserving the progress they had made. Team members Leroy, Roger, and Keto put plans in place to safeguard their excavation sites from the harsh weather. As they finished their preparations, there was a strong sense of teamwork among the group, united and determined to weather the storm so they could continue their search as soon as it was safe to do so. They believed that the answers they were looking for were just within reach, waiting to be discovered. The Lagina brothers and their team were eager to receive updates from the money pit, knowing that any news could change the course of their investigation and even their lives. They headed to the garden shaft area, which had been the focus of their recent work, to meet with Paul, who updated them on the latest developments. Despite the challenges they faced in the tunnel, the team's commitment to finding the pirates' treasure remained unshaken. Over the past week, workers from Dumas Contracting Limited had been hard at work, deepening the garden shaft to 95 feet. This depth was important because they believed it might be where they might find a mysterious tunnel that had shown up in earlier water tests. A week earlier, the team had been working on the garden shaft, originally built in the mid-1700s, and had dug down to 90 feet. At this level, they found a strange tunnel that seemed to head west toward an area they called Baby Blob. The depth of this tunnel and its possible significance caught everyone's attention. The fact that it pointed toward the Baby Blob area was especially interesting because previous water tests in nearby boreholes had detected high levels of silver, gold, and other metals between 80 and 120 feet underground. The tunnel's alignment with these metal findings raised exciting possibilities about what could be hidden inside. As Rick and Marty Lagina discussed the latest developments with their team, the importance of this tunnel became even more apparent. If the tunnel had been built before the shaft, it could hold key information that might help solve some of Oak Island's greatest mysteries. Meanwhile, Marty and his son Alex, along with other team members, moved on to explore another borehole, hoping to find evidence of a chapel vault believed to be buried deep underground, around 180 feet below the surface. As they examined the material found in the borehole, debates broke out about its significance and whether it was worth further exploration. They considered that this piece of metal might be part of a 9-foot-long plug that once sealed the chapel vault. If the plug had broken, parts of it could have sunk, pushing the vault deeper underground, suggesting they were closer than ever to finding the elusive treasure. Later that afternoon, Rick, Alex, and Scott Barlow met with Roger Fortin at the Dumas trailer in the Money Pit area to review carbon dating results from a wood sample taken from the mysterious tunnel beneath the garden shaft. The analysis revealed that the wood could be nearly 400 years old, suggesting the tunnel was built in the 1600s, long before the Money Pit was discovered. This discovery added a new layer of complexity to the Oak Island legend, implying that the tunnel might hold clues to events that happened long before the famous Money Pit was uncovered.